Hello, everybody. I am, there's a couple people here. Good to see you guys. If there's something specifically that you're wanting to do, let me know what it is and we will get to it. We're working on fire log posture tonight. So that's what we want to be doing, some hip openers. But if there's something specific you're hoping for, go ahead and type it in the little chat box. It is 6 o'clock. All right. I'm excited about this pose. We're in Chicago right now and we're having a big old snowstorm. So I'm Michael. So we're having a big snowstorm. I bet you're not having a snowstorm where you are, Michael. So let's get started. So the first thing we want to do is we want to turn off our phones for sure. Okay. And that's just going to let us know that we are clocking out, man. We are unplugging. The prompts that we're going to need today are 2 blocks. Okay, if you don't have blocks, grab some books and a blanket. If you have a blanket nearby, you can also use like a big beach towel. It's nice to use a firm blanket rather than a squishy, plushy blanket because then you're not getting the stability of the firm blanket. So if you don't have a yoga blanket, go ahead and, like I said, grab a beach towel. Okay. Hi. We're going to sit still for a moment. So find a comfortable position for you. Just a comfortable position where you can take a pause. This is a 30-minute class. Every Tuesday night at 6 o'clock Central, we jump on the mat, we shake down the day, and we work on a specific pose. We work on the prep for the pose, and then the counter for the pose. So I really am wanting it to be for all levels. If you want, and if you would like to subscribe to the channel, down there at the left is the icon, the inner gaze icon. Just go ahead and not icon, logo, and just click that. And you can subscribe to the channel. There are Sunday restorative classes coming out, recorded every Sunday at 2 o'clock. That's 15 or 20 minutes of jumping on the mat. And then this live stream on Tuesday nights. And then if you like the video or if you have requests, please in the comments or the like button, let me know because I do best when I have a dialogue with what's happening. So let me know. And those of you who do email me, I do appreciate it. Okay, so here we are. Let's sit still for a moment. Coming into any position that is comfortable for you. And the first thing we're going to do right now is nothing. We're not going to do our yoga breaths. We're not going to watch our breaths. We're not going to correct anything in our physical anatomy. We're just going to just sit still. Sit still for a moment. Let's spend about a minute here just being with ourselves. You can watch the chatter of the mind, watch the aches and pains maybe in the body, watch whatever's going on. Just sitting still for a moment together. What a day, what a day, what a day, what a day. You can even open your mouth and let out a big old exhale. Not in the future, not in the next moments or the next day, or nothing about the future, nothing about the past. Just right here, my goodness, right here. Sutra number 1, now is the time for yoga. The very first word is now. Let your belly hang out. Even slouch a little bit. How are you? Remember mindfulness. The first 2 steps are number 1, how am I? How am I really? And number 2 is, can I be with it? Can I be with it, whatever it is? Most of us know. We rush to go do something or drink something or smoke something or buy something. But we are just going to sit still for a moment, notice what's going on, and can I be with it? One more minute, please. It's so nice to be here with you. All right. All right, we're going to do the same thing, but we're going to come to standing. So take your time to go over to hands and knees. We're going to make a slow launch here. Extend your right leg out and just open and close it here, just finding a little bit of an opening and closing. So this Tuesday night class, this 30-minute jumping on the mat, is really for everybody. So if you see somebody doing a pose, I guess that would be me because I'm the only one you can see. But if you see me doing something, I can't do that. I can't do that. Turn it off. That's not what it's about. I love teaching all level yoga classes because you can see where you're going and you can see where you've been, right? And then you can drop right into the now, knowing that you're on that path. So if you see me doing something that you're not ready to do or that you used to do that you know you can't do anymore, that's okay. Find a level for you. Let's take that left leg up and just open and close here. How does it feel? What you notice there? Maybe you can start to lengthen out those exhales a little bit, get them a little bit longer. One more. Beautiful. Come into hands and knees. I'm going to back up a little bit so I have some runway here. And we're going to take puppy pose. I'm going to turn the pelvis up. So really reach the tailbone up and start to walk your arms forward. Anybody who needs to have a block for your forehead, you could totally do that. Some people don't like this pose. You could always bring your elbows down and do it that way. I love it. So I'm going to drop all the way down. So this is just like down dog pose, except we're on our knees. And this is our chance in this class today to really check in with the neck and shoulders. Can you feel your forehead pressing firmly into the mat? And then you decide what's best for you. Is it to lift the palms and find like a Spider-Man hand here where you're really stretching out? Does it feel better for you to turn the palms towards each other, rotating all the way through the armpits, or maybe even turning up to the sky? Some of you really flexible folks might be able to take your hands to the shoulder blades and really stretch out those side bodies. Do whatever you want to do here. Take about 5 more breaths. Stretch it out. Maybe sliding over to one side. We've got those exhales longer. Can you start to add a little bit of a longer inhale? Even seeing if you can breathe into your back, not just the belly, breathe into your back, into your whole torso. One more deep breath. You've done, if you did one, and we're going to come on up, hands and knees, curl your toes under, and we're going to take a very slow little vinyasa. We're doing hips, so we want to be a little bit warm. So we're going to move together very slowly 4 times. Here we go. Inhale, look up, press the hands down. One breath, exhale, down dog, exhale. Back to your tabletop, inhale. One breath, exhale, downward dog. Inhale, tabletop. This is our moving meditation, syncing up that breath and movement. This is where that magic of yoga comes in. One more inhale. And exhale, up we go. Your choice. What do you need? Do you want to let that brain get that big old bath right now? Just all that fresh blood coming into the head? Then take 5 breaths here with me in down dog. If you want to take a break on your arms, go ahead and bring your knees down into that child's pose or even the puppy pose that we were in. Oh, just sit still for a moment. Just be still. Beautiful. All right, everybody, now find your downward dog. And we're just going to walk forward. Walk up forward, grab opposite elbows here, and just take a big old exhale. Maybe even sway a little bit. Now, most of us are pondering different things that happen during the day, and so you might find yourself doing that. Just notice if you're doing it and just keep bringing yourself back to this moment right now. Right now. 2 more deep breaths. Fill up that beautiful body of yours. It works so perfectly. And then the next time you exhale, come up, 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 all the way up, all the way up, all the way up. And we're just going to shake it off. So just start to move your body, just moving any way that you want to. Any way, swaying side to side, maybe lifting up a leg, just maybe coming up and tossing the arms, whatever you want to do, just shaking off the day. I know this feels weird. It's not a way that we typically move, right? Unless for kids or animals, which they know what's up. We don't really know what's up. So just let yourself have this time of just playing in your movements, just washing all the patterns that you've been in all day away. If you've been sitting, maybe you're doing some little fun back bends. Be safe, though. We've got about 3 more breaths. And when it's time for you to come back to your hands and knees, come on back to your hands and knees, traveling through down dog if you want to. And then come on down, come on down, come on down. And let's sit still for a moment. So one of the things I like to say is when we do hip openers, it's a perfect opportunity to be really critical on ourselves. It's a good time. We start to get mad that we're not more open in our hips. We start to recreate this trauma of one hip that's bugging you and the other hip that's not. So a lot of stuff starts to be chattering when we work with hips. Some people would even say that a lot of emotions, a lot of repressed emotions go into that body, into this area of the body. And so there's a lot there. And so wherever you are is a right place to be. Please don't feel like you have to be anywhere else than where you are. This is a practice of mindfulness. How am I? And can I just be with that? Right? Not to improve or anything like that. So let's take our blocks and we're going to start with our feet like this, sitting up nice and tall. Some of you might even find like you want to grab the backs of your thighs. Okay, so we call this neutral. Our hips are in neutral, right? And start to come into what we call the Samavriti. Imagine you're pouring water into a glass. The water goes into the top of the glass. It splashes at the bottom and then splashes up the sides of the glass and then it fills up. We're going to do that with our breath. Breathe all the way down to the base of your belly. Splash that inhale up to the ribs and fill up and exhale. Let it all come out. So in other words, again, breathing into all directions, breathing from nose to deepest part of the navel, up through the ribs. Fill it up, fill it up, fill it up, and exhale, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. 2 more. Very nice. All right, from here, drop that left knee open. So now we're sitting up like this. We've got the right knee sitting up nice and tall, and the feet are touching. Take your blocks and let's take them to the outside of that right leg. Finding this little gentle twist here. If you need a blanket or another block underneath that knee, feel free to do that. Inhale, it's okay to lift this other side. Go ahead and reach out and breathe. If you need the blocks, keep them. If you don't, don't. The objective here is to turn the heart towards the knee. It's okay to let the pelvis lift as I'm doing here. Our challenge is to breathe deeply into the muscles of the back, especially where attaching towards the top of the pelvis. Drop your head if that feels nice. How am I right now, and can I be with it? Good. Now walk it up. So we would call this Ardha Baddha Konasana. This is 1/2 of bound angle. Let's switcheroo. Look at that cool move. Look at that. Whoa. Ksh. Let's do it again. Got to get your blocks. Let's go get them. I do have to say, there is studies that people get injured reaching for blocks. So we do all this integrity in the pose, and then we reach for a prop and we lose it. So be careful when you're reaching for your props. All right, same thing. We're going to turn the sternum and the heart towards this right knee. And if you want to, walk those blocks out. If you need something under the knee, grab it. And again, lift this if it feels right for you. Keep it down if it doesn't. And just breathe into all that connective tissue, all that fascia. Four more deep breaths. Spending some quality time with yourself here with us together. I'm really, really glad you're here. One more deep breath. It's nice to be together. All right, come on back up. Come on back up. And then ba-boom, look at that. Baddha Konasana bound angle. Couple of choices for you. If you're focusing on the inner groin, then maybe you'll bring those heels a little bit closer together. If you're focusing more on the lower back, then go ahead and kick them out a little bit. If you were to tip over, your forehead would be coming down towards those feet. So as I said, this is a great place to be really self-critical. If you want to be self-critical, here's a good one. But we don't want to do that. So we just want to notice maybe you have one leg doing something really tight and the other one's more loose. I'd like to see you go ahead and balance it out. We're finding balance. If your knees are way higher than your hips, then you're going to need a pillow or even sitting in a chair, because what's going to help me most is to have my hips higher than my knees. That way I get a nice big release in these upper thighs. Okay, so you find a spot that works for you. Now, every yoga teacher has different styles and different techniques and things that they teach. What I like to see here is, instead of opening up the feet, which I feel is a little bit straining on those knees, I like to push those feet together. Look at how it came out of the hip opener a little bit. So keeping those big toes plugged in. And because we want it to be a little bit more relaxing, I like to take a blanket here, and you can do it however you want to. I make a little horseshoe And that way, my ankles have a little prop and I'm keeping the alignment of my knees. I know when I posted this picture today of what we were doing, I had a couple feedback saying, "Oh, that looks fun, but I can't do that fire log pose because of my knees." Well, look here. You've got really safe knees because you've got your integrity here in the alignment. So for some of you, this is about all, right? This is about where you are. So you can take your time here in this posture. You can take some blocks behind you and just really encourage. Most of us sit like this, so we're trying to turn that tailbone behind us. And you could spend some time just being here. And here's your action step. Push the big toes together. Spread those push those big toes together, spread those toes apart, and spread the knees apart. Feet together, but knees apart. That's a real big dynamic boost for those inner groins. Working deeper still, maybe you'll tip over. Okay, so stop everything you're doing here and we'll reset. Okay, Baddha Konasana. This is a prep for our fire log. Pushing the big toes together, spreading those toes apart, feeling the knees spreading apart, either sitting up tall or if you're feeling dynamic, you can come forward and spend some time here, breathing deeply into that lower back. Okay. Now, if you're going a little bit deeper, we're going to be moving into our fire log. From here, we're going to pick up our left leg and we're going to keep the toes looking at the kneecap and just check in. How's this doing? How are you doing here? Moving everything from the top of the hip. Some of you can actually bring your feet, call this holding the baby. And for some folks that are not flexible, this looks really contortion-y. It's not really contortion-y, but it feels like it looks like it. I know if you're really tight, but you'll get here working with that earlier posture. So here I am. I'm pretty flexible in this hip. I could even slug it over my shoulder, carry it like a purse. But instead, I'm going to go ahead and put it down on the floor and keep the toes turned on because I really want to keep this knee safe. As soon as I get soft in the ankle, I'm asking too much from this knee. So I want to keep this fired up, toes looking at the kneecap, always and forever. All right, how's this other side doing? Oh, stretch it out. Hello, IT band. How are you? Moving, moving. What are you thinking about? Are you thinking anything critical of yourself? That's not what we're doing here. Just keep breathing. Keep breathing. So this bottom leg is positioned for a fire log pose. And so here we go. Now I want you to watch me for a moment because I know some of you tricksters out there will change the pose. Now watch. I'm going to put my ankle on the knee, not here. That's a different pose. I'm putting my ankle on the knee. And then I'm going to maybe if it sticks up like this, I might put something underneath it or maybe even hold it and try to remember to release it. Some of you can bring it all the way down and your ankle and knee and ankle and knee. If this leg is starting to slide like that, and my ankle is starting to turn like that, I'm moving into a different posture. I'm putting too much pressure on this knee. I would much rather prefer you go back to this level. Okay, so fire log, ankle on knee, ankle on knee. Toes are looking at the kneecap. Thighs are dropping, lifting up, lifting up, lifting up. And here we go. Big, big inhale and big, big exhale. Take ourselves over. 8 deep breaths. Now is the time for yoga. Right now, sutra number 1. Now is the time. Be here right now. Be here with your breath. The second sutra, the goal of yoga. The goal of yoga is to quiet the fluctuations of the mind. So it doesn't say doing fire log pose, right? It says quieting the fluctuations of the mind. So as you're here, you can watch the mind and step away from getting caught by it. And then sutra number 3 says, when you're behind those thoughts, when you're outside of those thoughts, you're residing in your true nature. There's a whole world of bliss back there underneath those thoughts. And so that's what yoga helps us see. One more breath. So deep and powerful. Come on back up. Come on back up. And let's take it all out. So those of you who are doing the Baddha Konasana, you're going to either do that again, bound ankle pose, or perhaps you'll open it up into Upavista Konasana. So now you're an open ankle, and you'll do the same thing. Pretend you're getting your picture taken. Hi. Right? Anything you want to do here, building anything you want to do. But the key here is to be opening up this lower back, opening up these inner groins and these outer hips. Those of you who are switching into fire log, we're going to take the opposite leg in front. So let's go back to the other side here, taking your right leg up, kick it. How's it going? In all the classes that I've been teaching recently, I've been really appreciating the teachers that have taught us this, over these last 2000 to whatever years, of all the people who've done this self-study, who've explored their bodies, those outer realms of existence, to give us these lessons so that we have a path to follow that's been down before. So appreciative of them. And then we are doing it. We're going to take that knowledge, we're going to really distill it, and then we're going to pass it on. I know it's always been that way, but I really have been sitting in that, just full of gratitude. I'm not alone here on this path. We're here, so many of us together. All right, ankle on knee. Now, this is a different one. What's going on? Does it slide? Sliding down. That's not the same pose. So you're going to go to this earlier level. Please, please. Your knee asked me to tell you that. Okay. If you can, ankle on knee. If this leg does not want to drop down, you can always build your little tower. Or maybe you're flexible and you're in a fire log. You can feel how warm it is, little marshmallows. Okay, here we go. Sit up nice and tall. Thighs pushing down, telescoping front ribs up, telescoping back ribs up, long, healthy spine, and down we go. 8 deep breaths. Number 1, now is the time. Right now, be here with me right now. Number 2, the purpose is to quiet the mind. We're not going to stop the thinking. The thinking is not going to change. We can just dive below. When we don't get caught up in our thoughts, we can reside in our truest nature. That peace, that bliss, that ananda. 5 more breaths. Agnistambhasana, fire log pose. Agni means fire. Two more deep breaths. So nice. Deep stretching. All right, come on back up. Come on back up. Let's do a quick little counter here. Find yourself coming out and just tip yourself onto your back. Crash into your blocks. And just finding seed pose or Hasta Padangustasana where you're grabbing the toes. Whatever you want to do, just counter some of that. Maybe rocking side to side in Happy Baby. We all have a little fire inside of us, right? It's the glow in our eyes. It's the luster of our skin. It's the passion that we come to with our work and our loved ones, that fire inside of us. And one of the ways that the image that really works for me is like life is like walking with a candle. That candle cannot go out. That's my candle. But it's snowing and it's raining and people want to blow it out. They're mean and all the things that life has. My job is to guard my light. right? Because I want it to stay healthy. I don't want it to be a big raging bonfire where I burn myself out or I burn and torch everybody around me. I don't want to be so much of a yes person that it's dampening and that I can barely get out of bed. I want it to be the Agni to be a strong fire so we can burn up our food that we eat. We can burn up negative energy that we don't need, that we can get in action in our life. So I want to spend just this last minute here, and you're on your back. Maybe you're windshield wipering your knees side to side. Maybe this is just the beginning of your class and you're going to stay on for another half hour and work on some poses yourself. Or maybe you're going to end with us and we're going to go have dinner. You can have dinner with us. But whatever you're going to do, I just want to do a little bit of a centering here about this fire, okay, as we're in our winter time. So come to stillness wherever you are here, on your back, on your bottom, on your belly, on your side. And turn on that inner gaze, that inward glance, inward and downward towards your heart. And see that inner flame, see that inner fire. Just sit still for a moment and connect to that deeper part of you, that truest part. The part of you that no one can see as well as you. Like you're sitting in front of a campfire, be warmed by your own light. What you're capable of. There's so much potential, so much possibility. You're so wild. You're a wild beast. Take about 3 more deep breaths, please. Just honoring your own light. Because when we honor our own light, others can see it. And then they have that permission to show their light. And then we keep passing it around. All right. As always, I love that you're coming. I love these Tuesday night classes. I hope you continue. If there's poses you want to work on, go ahead and email me. And then Friday at 11 a.m. Central, we're doing a New Year's Day class where we're going to have our journals out. And we're going to do a hot to flow. And so we'll really be able to sort of take this fire. What do we want coming up in the new year? What do we want besides peace, calm, and steady? Okay. And that's enough too. All right, deep bows to you all. Thank you for coming. Enjoy the rest of your evening and namaste. I always love hearing from you, so be sure you subscribe, like it, and email me if you want to. Deep bows to you all.